Hey guys, let me just quickly check something. Okay, so I'm gonna go over how to add a stage slot to SSF2. We'll be doing the whole tutorial, and you're gonna be needing DAT32x.fla, DAT84x.fla, and you're also gonna need JPEGs open with the booter file, though it might be called something else. The booter file is this file, the one where it has the loading. It's where we'll be making the exe, and I'll also go over how to make the exe itself. Okay, so in DAT32x, and make sure you watch the first video I put out if you haven't already, because I don't explain things much into detail in this one. But as you can see, we have Hyrule Castle in its own slots, and if I double click into this area, I can access all these things. So the first thing I'm going to do is put this to the side. You don't have to do this, but I've actually been meaning to do that for quite some time, so I'm going to do that. I'm also going to lower my volume of the music. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to be making another slot, but we're going to be making it for waiting room. And in this case, the waiting room mod I made. So what we're going to do is look at my Hyrule Castle slots. So what you want to do is copy all these layers. So we're going to copy the layers, and actually something else I should have done was make folders for all of these. That way everything's a little bit nice and organized, right? Fonts and images. So if you don't know how to make folders, you're seeing me do it right now. Okay. Ooh, I am hungry. I'll have something to eat. So let's just quickly get this done. It's very important to be as organized as much as you can. And now we have shapes, graphics. Let's call these graphics. What? Okay. Huh, this is strange. Oh, okay. They're the same thing. Oh boy, this is not organized. Here, I'm just gonna move all these guys into here. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go down here and make a new symbol. And we're gonna call this waiting room new. And we're gonna worry about the export for action script soon. And what we're gonna do is paste the layers, delete that layer that was there by default, and we're gonna have to replace that. So as you can see, there's two things that happens. One is the regular, and the second one is it becoming bigger. You'll also notice that I have the window actions panel open, and we have some code in here, and you want to keep this code, but it would be ideal if you replace the images. So let's do that right now. What I'll do quickly is, which I should have done before the video, is I will launch SSF2.
Choose your character. Lloyd. Zero. 3, 2, 1.
And I will take a quick screenshot. Oh, this is not how I want to do it.
No contest. Training mode. Mario. Go.
Okay, and now we should be able to do, except I'm gonna want one has some text in it, and look at that. That'll make a good stage preview. Stage preview .png. Now we can close this up, and what we'll do is file import to stage. And we're going to find that stage preview.png. Now, when you're importing a PNG, it's going to pop up in the library, and you want to go to properties, uncheck that, and keep that lossless. So you see how it's nice and you get that full quality. Now look at if I had it lost moving. You lose that quality. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This isn't happening. Okay, you saw nothing. Okay, so let's turn this back to that. Okay, so now what we want to do is have it fit that little tiny small box. So if we do Control T, or go right here, we can make this around that size. And what I'm going to do is hit this constraint. So now it becomes small. I mean, it scales proportionally. Okay. So what, like I said before, good idea to do is lock. Well, you want to put this on a new layer temporarily. Control Shift V puts it in the same place, or edit, paste in place. And then we're going to lock the other layers. Now let's see. That looks pretty good. Now what I want to do is have it in a spot where it'll be ready for me to crop it out. Okay, so I'm going to lock this. Oh. Well, look at that. I should be doing it here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to select this guy. And we're going to Control Shift, paste them in here. Now to make sure it actually fits, we just Control C that. We're going to double click on this. Actually convert to bitmap. And it's going to make another bitmap that we're going to undo the smooth. Oh, that doesn't look good. Huh. Maybe break apart? Okay, break apart's gonna work. There we go. So if we use break apart, we can have it fit the actual. So basically you just want it so that inside the black border. And unfortunately, problem with Flash is this eraser will not get any bigger. But you can be a bit sloppy here as long as you have everything that's outside the black border erased. So maybe we want to speed up this top part of the video, and all I'm doing is erasing. Did I just mess up? Nah, I don't care. It's just a little bit. Okay. Okay, but that still doesn't look good, and I have a problem with the... Oh no. Let's see. So that I can actually see what this color is, I'm going to change it temporarily to gray. So now when I unlock this, I can do a proper shifty. Yeah, that's a lot better. I can see what I'm doing now. And I can also see that, but hey. Actually, if I wanted to, I could be sloppy and use the brush tool. Make this smaller. Change the size there. And is there an eyedropper tool? Okay, I think that did it. Oh boy, why is the eyedropper tool not? Oh, okay. I have a little program that'll do this for me. Great, now you're seeing my whole thing. Let me be quick about this. Okay, so this program lets me just do that. And it's copied to my clipboard. And now if I go to brush. Okay. And if I go to... There we go. Let's see if this will work. There! It's like I didn't erase anything in the first place. Okay. So there you go. That's one. But we only have one down. We still have one more to go. So let me just delete this layer for good. Let me go to my selection tool. Oh. Oh no. So we have to go back into here. Control A, Control C. We'll go to the second layer. Control V. So this is a matter of making it bigger now. See if we go to 120 maybe? Yeah, 120 is pretty good. And then we just need to do a Shift E and erase that outside without missing anything in there. And because we have these other layers locked, we don't have to worry. And if I'm right, that's the... Oh, I never deleted this the first time around. Anyways, now I did. Okay, so waiting room new now has that getting bigger thing. Ooh, we forgot about that. Let's change this back to black. Okay, so now you have the waiting room symbol, the slot, and what we need to do is we need to link it. So to do that properly, search up Hyrule Castle, and we're going to copy that linkage ID. I just double clicked here and I copied. Now, what we're going to do is you're going to right click on this, go to Properties, Export for Action Script, paste that in. We're going to call this Waiting Room New. Okay. Okay. That looks good to me. Now it's just a matter of getting it on there. I think. Okay, so all you gotta do is you drag this onto here. Oh. What's this? Oh no. Did I go over my original slots? There's only one answer to that. Oh no. Okay. So I'm gonna cheat. I know, cheating's a bad thing. I'm gonna call this DAT32Y. I'm gonna open it up again. And I'll teach you something. So you can transfer symbols between different libraries. And that's a pretty cool thing. So let's move this back here. Let's correct the fact that this isn't ordered correctly. let's go to the waiting room view slot. And let's just drag it in. And if I were doing this correctly, I would relabel everything, but for the purposes of this tutorial, we're just gonna have that done. Okay, now if you click on these, you'll see there's this S13, S37, S100. That's their instance name. See, if I get rid of that, see instance name. We're gonna call this S101, and that's very important. Okay, now that that's been done, I believe we can just save, and we're gonna get to this in a moment. Yeah, I'm just gonna save DAT32X, and I'm gonna do a file export, you know what, I want to make sure that everything's okay with images. So if you were in my first video, you would have known what I'm doing right now. Is I'm basically going into properties and I'm making sure that the quality is at max. We don't have any sounds in here, so I don't have to do that with sounds. If you go to publish settings, make sure it's at 10.3. We don't need to worry about that. Now we're going to do file export, export movie, and we're going to call this DAT32. Now what I'm going to do is... Oh, we already have that somewhere. Okay, we're going to not deal with that for now. We're going to go to here. Now, if you open it up, it should be like that. But this, I first look at it as the characters. And this would be for like adding character slots and stuff. But this also has for the stage previews, DAT84. So if we double click on that, we'll get this, and oh boy, look at that. And as you can see at the very end, Legend of Zelda and whatnot. So let's add Waiting Room X. So we need to be conscious of a few things. The label. So you want to insert a blank keyframe, and you want to give it a name, and I think it's S101. Oh, you want to call it Stage 101. That's right. This has to deal with a different part of the engine. Okay. Now, if I hide this, this has to do with the logo. And I'm sure somewhere here, I can... What if I quickly made my own logo? I know. I should have done this before. So we're going to do file new, Photoshop, actually file open. And I'm going to go into my images, and let's see. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay, I'm just gonna take this. And I'm gonna go Control C. I'm gonna make a new layer here. Okay, I wasn't expecting to show you guys in Photoshop, but I guess I will. Okay, and I'm not really going into detail how I'm doing stuff, but if you're following along, it really isn't that difficult what I'm doing. Basically, I'm making this gray. A lighter gray. And We're gonna add text. It's gonna say Master Wax. We're just gonna bump that font up all the way. And then we'll look for some fancy looking text. So that looks pretty dope, as we would say. And Control T. Well, this is kind of funny. I'm making my own logo on the fly. Okay, and rasterize type. And if you ever want to know how I made my logo, now you know. You might just want to skip this. Anyways. That'll do for that. Just give it a few seconds. I hope you guys are having a good day whenever you decide to watch this. Okay, wax logo. Let's go back to animate. We're gonna insert a blank keyframe. And I'm gonna do file import, import to stage. And there we go. We show this in library. We will make this no smoothing like usual. And then we'll make this super small. And there's another feature called Onion Skin that I'll introduce to you guys. It allows you to see previous layers. So in this case, we just want to see the, not layers, keyframes. So we can sort of figure out how we want this to look. So maybe if I go 5%, that looks pretty dope. And let me undo the onion skin. So what we can also do is we can right click on this and convert to symbol. And we're going to call it MWAX logo. And then we can get rid of that. And we can add a radiant glow. I guess that could work. Okay, and I think it'll show up eventually. Okay, so for all of these three, all we need to do is insert a frame. And I just pressed F5 to do that in Windows. And then here's where the actual picture is. As you can see now, you can see that little thing. So I'm going to insert a blank keyframe. This is, you can see the glow, that's what I was saying. And we're going to do File, Import, Import to Stage, Stage Preview. Okay, dope. And then we're going to go, let's make this a lot smaller. And yes, we have to do the show in library thing too. That looks pretty good, though that looks pretty ugly too. So I just lowered the strength a bit, so it looks prominent. I'm going to change this to blue for now, so we can actually see what we're doing, and I'm going to lock every layer except this one. And Wait, sounds forget what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, I'm just making everything nice so that when I go to break apart now, I can break this apart without a problem, and I can retain my quality and all. And unlike what we did before DAT32X, this is just a one-time thing. And you want to make sure you get that bottom. Oh boy, I wish it was an easier way. Fast forward if you need to, that's part of the video. There's a lot of parts where you gotta fast forward to PH. Or you can enjoy the music. Pick like some peaceful anime music playlist. Let's try not to get inside there. Okay. And check it out, looks pretty dope. And there we go. And now let's look at some other stuff. Okay, looks like that's that. I think for this, all that matters was this label. Yep, those were just graphics. Okay, and probably gonna want to go back into this. Oh, oops. Don't want to do that. Let's bring this back to black. Okay, and that's done. So let's do file export. Export movie as DAT84. Actually, I'm going to go with the color settings quickly. Hahaha. I'm thinking a little bit too ahead of myself today. So I changed it back to 10.3. And okay, 32 and 84 are now done. And if you ever get something like this, by the way, the compile errors, don't worry about it. Okay, so last time, the first slot I did that was a new stage slot was my very own Hyrule Castle. And right now what we're going to do is we're going to do my waiting room mod. So let's see how I did Hyrule Castle. So first thing to look at is that I made it its own stage. This isn't cloning anymore, you're making your own stage, so you gotta make your own name. So in this case I use the linkage ID name that I'm going to be using all the time, which is Hyrule Castle. And I have that in front of all of this. Hyrule Castle background. You want to make sure that happens with all these linkage IDs. And when you double click like that, you can rename them. So it's very important you make sure anything that has a linkage ID is changed. Secondly, what you need to do is, as you can see, rename this to Hyrule Castle _FLA. And finally, what we'll have to do is deal with the timeline, making sure that's renamed. And by going here, properly editing this by having this GUID, the linkage ID, and changing stuff like that. So let's do that with waiting room. Okay, so the first thing I want to do with waiting room is to go into its actual folder, which I believe is DAT39. Yep, because I cloned it over self-co. And what I'm going to do is rename it to W room. Okay, and I had no problem renaming it. The second thing I'm going to do is rename that to W room _FLA.main timeline. And as you can see, it still saves in package self-co. You don't want that. Okay. Oh, you're gonna have to manually do all this, I believe. So let's see if I do a quick save. Yeah, there we go, you don't have a problem. Okay, so I'm gonna open up Notepad. And we're gonna make a new stage slot. Okay, so we're gonna call this W room. We're gonna even go here and call that W room. We're gonna make the GUID in a second. W room. And the back room is gonna be called W room. Try and keep it consistent, people. Now for the GUID, you really just need a random string of numbers. And I kind of get worried when I do this because I'm not exactly sure how it works. But you want to I just rename like every single one of these. And I would keep it so if it's like a number, it's a number of lowercase, lowercase. So 2, 4, 2, 1, 7, W, 3, D, 2, 5, X, 3, 1, B, 3, 7, 5, D, 4, I think that was a 2. Let's see, C317, yes, it was D4, 9, 2, 1, WQ, 4, 7, E, 5. Okay. So, let's go into our notepad and make sure we know what we're doing. Our GUID is that. Our ID is W. And there we go, we have a new GUID. We have that done. We're going to change that to W. What's going on with my mouse? Okay, let's see if there's anything we need else to do. No, there isn't. So let's do file save. Looks all good. That was changed properly. Now we're going to go into the library. And we're going to find anything that has a linkage ID connected to it. And we're going to
Be it your
review
best case
all
scenario,
of
best photos. I had a gallery.
these.
Photos? I got thousands
Sorry.
of my
I really needed to put an ad blocker. Okay. So as you can see, you really want something short when you're doing this renaming process. Again, fast forward the video, but basically just going through all of the linkage IDs right now. So basically, if you don't understand what this is being said, it's saying that the folder is w.fla dot, and then inside is the actual action script name, which is, in this case, player 3, start 16. And we're just going to keep on doing that. Now, if you're watching my character tutorial, when you're making a new character too, though I haven't done this yet, though I can assume that it would be a similar process to what we're doing right now. Dealing with DAT32, DAT84, doing all the renaming in the file, and then finally, which we'll be doing last, is editing the exe, which sadly still has to be done in JPEGs. Okay. Now if you right click on, now what I'm going to do is, even though it isn't the smartest idea, I'm going to do a file export movie. And we're going to call this DAT101. Except you're going to see something right now, and it's going to look really scary. You're going to see all these, and we have to deal with all of these. And the reason why is because of this line. These all need to be W room. And as you can see now, it's going to be a lot easier to just do it like this. So I just copied the first line and now I'm pasting it. By selecting that one, is how you're able to highlight it. Now if we miss any, we will see an error again, and then we'll just deal with it. Okay, so let's also get rid of these guys. And now let's do another export. Let's look at the publish settings. Publish settings look all good. And that's because I already did all of them and they saved my settings. Let's do DAT101. I do want to replace. Hey, I got it right the first time. Okay. Now to the fun part. The exe. What I'm going to do is go to Tools, Text Search, type in Battlefield. Now it's going to have to decompile the whole thing, so that'll be a little while. So, let's review what we were doing. We first went to DAT32, and we made our own slot for waiting room. Where? Oh no. We made. Oh, the wrong one. Wait, no. Oh, thank God. Okay. We made another slot for waiting room. We went through all of that. We went to DAT84, and we made a preview. And now, we just went to DAT39 and made it its own slot, and we did all the renaming. Now we're going to go into JPEGs, and we're going to implement the engine. Let's go over maybe. Okay, don't need to touch any of this. Maybe edit preferences would help you guys. I'm looking for something specific. Oh, you can change this to animate always, because that's... Well, but you don't have Flash, but it won't even matter, but you always want to edit animates. This can allow you to change how the code looks. And... Oh yeah, auto recovery. Have this checked. And 10 minutes is pretty good. So if you lose your work, if yes, Adobe Animate crashes, which will happen frequently, you'll have an auto recovery from every 10 minutes. So it's really good to have. Okay, let's see how JPEGs is doing. So the problem why we can't edit this the booter SWF, all the engine files in Animate or Flash, is because the decompiler doesn't decompile it properly. So while as an SWF it'll be fine, as a Flash file it won't. So that's why you can't do that. Now it looks like I got a frozen screen. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. When this happens, oh, look, it's moving. What else could I possibly teach you? Oh, maybe I'll teach you a little trick. So you gotta edit class, and you do control and scroll. You can change the size of the font, so if you're someone who has hard reading, you have the font bigger. That's something good to know. And it's also good to make sure the target FLA is the one you want. So keep that in mind. Also, if you might notice, I'm always like doing this really nice and quickly. And if you want to do that too, you just do control and then you move your scroll wheel back and forth. And based on where your cursor is at, it'll zoom in at that point. Let's see how JPEGs is doing. We're getting there. So yeah, for waiting room, I went a little bit far, and I actually made 20 songs in here. So yeah, that's going a little bit far, I know, but hey, it's supposed to be a pretty awesome mod, and I hope you guys like it. It's on my my channel, Master Wax, and it might be an expansion build too. Who knows? At the time of recording this video, we just got started on the expansion build, so we're quite some ways towards getting this done. You guys want to see what happens when I put these files in? Oh, let me rename them. So DAT32, DAT84, and DAT101. Put them in there, place the files, and we're just going to launch the debugged for now.
Choose your character. Lloyd.
So as you see, it launched
Shitty
fine,
Robo.
no problem, but you do not see the slots. And we're going to fix that right now. As a matter of fact, you won't be able to see either slots. Maybe I'll just add in both of the slots right now. No. I don't want you seeing that. Almost there. Okay, so if I want to do both slots, I need to go into Hyrule Castle. Hyrule Castle. And we need to make sure that this is stage 101 and this is stage 100. That's all the information we should be needing. Okay, so as you can see, we have the search results, and we're going to do these one by one. The first thing you do is, we're going to first do the resource manager, but let me quickly talk about JPEGs. If you go into settings, advanced settings, you need to make sure in paths you have the SWC. The SWC is this, and I can give it to you in the description, but you need to make sure you have that so you can edit the code. No, since we didn't do anything. So let's edit the action script. And what we're going to do is I'm going to copy this. We're adding 2 slots. What fun. Not 1 but 2.
You're inside a Chipotle burrito
Oh,
where
no.
everything is real.
3,
Just be real.
2.
Well, I kind of have a thing for musicians.
Okay. Let's do this. We're going to call this Hyrule Castle. That lagged. Hyrule Castle. This will be called Hyrule Castle SSF. This will be called DAT100. There's DAT100 and DAT101. And if I'm right, I already have my DAT100 in here. Yeah. And then we're gonna rename that to the correct GUID. Ooh, what happened? Control C. Change that. And this is a resource.stage. Now we just do the same thing for waiting room. We put in that. It's waiting room.ssf. And then we change this to DAT101. And we grab waiting room's GUID. And we paste it into here. And just like that, we can save it. We get no errors. And we can move on to stage setting. Okay, so as you can see, this is how it should be formatted. And if we go to edit, action script, I'm going to copy that. And that's where you want to put the stage 100. You want to call this Hyrule Castle. Or whatever you're calling your stage. My apologies. So that's the display name right there that I just put in. But here, we need to put in each castle. Right? Or, I didn't call it each castle. I need to make sure. I called it Hyrule Castle, okay. So I decided to spell it out. So this is called H Castle. Look, that's a .ssf. Oh, I wonder if I could change that. I probably could, but I don't want to. Okay, and let me make sure I did all of that right. Okay. So now we're going to repeat the same process for waiting room. I'm going to call it waiting room X. And we're going to call this stage 101. We're going to call this waiting room X. And I know the lock ID for this is W room. Now we need to scroll down. Ooh, we want a little bit too high. Yeah, here. And we need to add in this for both of them slots. So when you're making the name, don't like have any spacing or anything. That might mess it up. But you can have spacing when you do the name. And notice if you have like an apostrophe, it looks like you have to have a slash there too. So keep that in mind. So we have Hyrule Castle there, and we have Waiting Room X. We have Waiting Room X right there, and we have Hyrule Castle there. And let's go down, and those match. Press save. Next. Make sure you're following everything as I do it. Oh, something I did not cover here in this video because I'm lazy is I did not add to this. And it's pretty much the same process, but I'm too lazy to do it. And it's like we never touch this when we're playing SSF2. But pretty much a similar process in doing that, and if you get through this tutorial, you should be able to figure out how to do that, add this too. And it really isn't that hard. And you don't even have to go into DAT84 for here. Hey, I might just do it to make you all happy, okay? But right now, let me just get into stage select. Okay. So right after Media Voyage, we're going to add in Hyrule Castle. And we're going to call it S100. We're going to do this similar process. Call this S101. Call this Waiting Room X. Okay. What's next, guys? You need to put it in the actual stage table itself. And I'm going to put it in the past stage table. So this is going to be on the third row. And we have S100. And S101. That looks pretty good to me. Hyrule Castle, Waiting Room X. And we put them in here. This is the part where you can actually break the game if you do it wrong, so... let's hope I did it right. Now here's where you would put it in for the stage switch. Now if we look at the actual stage switch, we can get away with putting in the last lines of here and here. Now if I wanted to be curious, okay, so it's similar. So it would be a similar process to doing this. I'm not going to do it for now. I'm just not going to do it. I might do it after I show you that this all works. But right now, I want to just show you 2 stage slots working. Okay, so now what we're going to do is File, Save As. And we're going to call this PSX. Whew, I hope I'm doing everything. Oh, that's the wrong folder. Okay. And then let's check that's actually there. I'm a bit nervous right now. This is actually my second time doing this. Okay, we have PSX, so let's launch that. And let's drag this into here. Oh, it works.
Choose your character.
Okay, we'll choose Kirby
Kirby.
and Chibi.
Zero.
Now if we go here, you should see 2 slots. Waiting Room X and Hyrule Castle. Fuck. I was worried about that happening. Okay, so what did I do wrong? So let me first create CD file, create projector to make it. And I'm always worried I do something wrong. Hopefully I don't spend forever trying to figure out what I did wrong. Okay. At this moment, I'm not exactly sure why it didn't work, but we had... It was a good sign that we saw them.
Choose your character. Void. Shady Robo. 3, 2,
Oh wow, that's funny.
1, go!
So as you can see, Waiting Room X works.
No contest.
We still have one issue, which is Hyrule Castle. So
Choose your character. Marth. Void.
we see the slot, but the stage doesn't load. And if it's anything, it's my fault. Somewhere in here I messed up. So that would have been DAT100. So let's trace our steps back. There's gotta be somewhere here that I messed up. S100, Hyrule Castle. That looks fine to me. Hyrule Castle, Stage 100, Hyrule Block ID. See? All you gotta do is troubleshoot. So you can also do file up and browse. And I think we should be able to do it right from here.
Choose your character. Void. Shady Robo. 3, 2, 1, go!
And as you can see, it works. So,
No
let's
contest.
review. We made 2 stage slots, Waiting Room X and Legend of Zelda, and in Waiting Room X, we even have our own custom icon. It's like my signature thing that I made like on the spot with you guys. I don't want to do...
Shady Robo.
I don't want to do this. I mean, I will do it probably when I do that whole build, but right now it's going to be a pain in the butt. And this video is going to be even longer. So with that, I'm going to end it. We made 2 stage slots, and I'll provide any files that you need in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.